I'm going to take a few minutes and look at the structure of the storytelling, starting with identifying the business context. This is the headline statement that says to the buyer audience, this is why you should pay attention to the story I'm about to tell you. In the example I used, I said something along the lines of, I want to tell you a story to illustrate my approach and philosophy to selling. Tell your story. The story of meeting David on the boat with my children, right? 90 seconds, certainly no more than 2 minutes. So it needs to be really clear, concise, well-told story, that you're in it as authentically as you can as you tell that story. The next piece is to interpret what it means to you or what you learned from that experience. In the example I used, it was around not being too salesy, that the poise and ease and conversational tone can help us oftentimes be better at selling. That was my lesson. The final piece then is to translate what it means for your buyer. So it's taking that story and the lessons you've learned and drawing the connections to some of the issues or needs that the buyer is trying to address. In my example, how I draw that connection using that story is I'd finish by saying something along the lines of, so if you choose to work with us, we will help your sales teams embrace a similar orientation to selling. In telling the story, you want to most obviously create an emotional resonance with the audience. You want to make it as engaging as you possibly can. And the way you can do that is, for example, create imagery in their mind. You want to stay in the present tense. Use bullet phrases. So as you create those images, don't rely on a lot of descriptive sentences, but use brief, concise imagery and trust that their imagination will fill in some of the gaps. So, for example, we're on the dock. It's a boat that holds 40 people and the crowd is gathering. Those kind of clear, concise bullet phrases are what will allow you to tell that story in 90 seconds or certainly under 2 minutes. You also want to, where appropriate, support some of your story with data. Don't lean too heavily on it. Let it support your story rather than the other way around. Another way to create a compelling image in your buyer audience's mind is to, use your body, your voice, your facial expression to convey some of the details of your story. So it's a combination of those elements that allow you to engage your audience most effectively with a compelling story. Remember to download and use the template we provide to help give a structure as you prepare and practice your storytelling for your next big presentation. Also, remember to practice with a friendly audience who can give you some coaching and feedback before you tell that story for the first time.